Enter Burlingame, Kansas, where the Kaler family's tranquil life was shattered by a devastating tragedy in 2009. Join us as we uncover the chilling tale of buried secrets and simmering tensions in the Kaler family massacre. Dr. James Kaler, a respected psychiatrist, his wife Karen, their 2 daughters, and Karen's grandmother were pillars of the community. But tensions simmered and secrets festered behind closed doors. On that fateful day, tragedy struck. The Kaler family home turned into a scene of horror as 4 lives were brutally taken. The perpetrator? None other than James Kaler himself. As investigators combed through evidence, a chilling picture emerged. The facade of normalcy crumbled, revealing a man consumed by inner demons and a family torn apart by hidden turmoil. The ensuing trial captivated the nation. Prosecutors depicted a calculated killer, while defense attorneys explored mental illness and psychological distress. For loved ones left behind, pain mingled with disbelief. How could a revered man commit such a heinous act? Answers remained elusive. Amidst the chaos, questions arose about Karen Kaler, James' wife. Behind the facade of marital bliss, their relationship harbored deep-seated tensions. Karen, once a vibrant and active member of the community, found solace in the routine of daily life. However, her world began to unravel when she joined a local gym and struck up a friendship with another woman. This newfound companionship, while initially innocent, soon evolved into something more. Karen confided in her new friend, sharing the intimate details of her troubled marriage and her struggles with mental health. The relationship provided an escape from the turmoil at home, but it also fueled James' jealousy and insecurity. As tensions between James and Karen reached a boiling point, their daughters, once innocent witnesses to their parents' love, found themselves caught in the crossfire. Their once happy home became a battleground of resentment and despair, with the girls bearing the brunt of their parents' strife. Experts speculate that James' actions were driven by a toxic combination of marital discord, financial stress, and Karen's deteriorating mental health. His desperate attempt to regain control ultimately led to a tragic loss of life. Karen's struggles with mental health were exacerbated by the strains of family life and her husband's demanding career. Despite seeking therapy and medication, she found herself overwhelmed by the weight of her responsibilities and the constant pressure to maintain appearances. The Kaler family downward spiral culminated in a series of heated arguments and confrontations, fueled by James' growing resentment and Karen's sense of isolation. The once loving couple found themselves locked in a vicious cycle of blame and recrimination, with no escape in sight. James, consumed by paranoia and anger, became increasingly controlling and manipulative. His attempts to assert dominance over Karen only served to push her further away, driving a deeper wedge between them. As Karen struggled to find support and understanding, she became increasingly isolated, trapped in a marriage that had become a prison of her own making. Her pleas for help fell on deaf ears, as James's facade of respectability remained intact. In her journal, Karen documented her innermost thoughts and feelings, revealing the depths of her despair and the anguish of living in a loveless marriage. Her words painted a haunting portrait of a woman on the brink of collapse, as she writes, "Today marks another day filled with emptiness and despair. I find myself questioning the choices I've made and the life I'm living. James, once the love of my life, now feels like a stranger, a shadow haunting the halls of our home. I long for connection, for understanding, but all I find is silence and indifference." Karen's journal entry provide a window into her inner turmoil, capturing the profound sense of loneliness and isolation that consumed her. Each day became a battle to maintain her sanity as she grappled with the suffocating weight of her loveless marriage. Desperate for solace, Karen reached out to friends and family, hoping to find someone who could offer a listening ear and a comforting shoulder. But James's carefully constructed facade made it difficult for outsiders to see the truth behind closed doors. In therapy sessions, Karen bared her soul, confessing her deepest fears and insecurities. She spoke of her dreams deferred, her hopes crushed under the weight of unfulfilled promises and shattered expectations. As the pressure mounted, Karen's facade of strength began to crumble, revealing the vulnerable woman hidden beneath. Her tears became a silent testament to the pain she endured, the anguish of a life half-lived. In her final entry, Karen's words took on a haunting quality, a desperate plea for release from the prison of her own making. Her last words echoed in the silence of her empty room, a silent testament to the tragedy that would soon unfold. In her words on her journal, she said, "I can no longer bear the weight of this empty existence. My soul feels trapped in a prison of my own making, suffocating under the weight of unspoken words and unshed tears. James, once my anchor, now feels like a weight dragging me down into the depths of despair. I long for freedom, for release from this endless cycle of pain and regret." Karen's final entries in her journal reveal the depths of her despair, a desperate plea for liberation from the shackles of her loveless marriage. Each word resonates with a haunting quality, a silent cry for help that went unheard until it was too late. As Karen's sense of isolation grew, her pleas for understanding fell on deaf ears, lost in the vast emptiness of her empty room. Her silent screams echoed in the darkness, a chilling prelude to the tragedy that would soon unfold. Night after night, Karen sat alone in the silence of her empty room, grappling with the demons that haunted her waking hours. Her tears stained the pages of her journal, a silent testament to the pain she endured in silence. In her final moments, Karen's words took on a haunting quality, a desperate plea for release from the prison of her own making. Her last breath echoed in the silence of her empty room, a silent testament to the tragedy that would soon unfold. In breaking news, a tragedy has struck the quiet town of Burlingame. Dr. James Kaler, a respected psychiatrist, has been arrested in connection with the deaths of 4 family members, including his wife Karen and their 2 daughters. Police remain tight-lipped about the details surrounding the incident, but neighbors report hearing screams coming from the Kaler home late last night.